Hi everyone, welcome to JOANTalks, and I'm your host, Joan Liu. My goal for this podcast is to focus on putting together the knowledge and science relating to your health, fitness, and nutrition that is easily understood and accessible by everyone. Without further delay, this is today's episode. Hi, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about forming habits and the value of consistency and resilience. So I have been in the sport of bodybuilding since the age of 17, and the lessons I have learned as an athlete from the sport has taught me about life overall. The principles of resistance training and bodybuilding are somewhat very similar for those in life in general, and that success is typically achieved with consistency in what you do. And similar to financial management, be it business or personal, I think the concept of wealth accumulation happens when you save more than you spend and be consistent with it over a long period of time. When someone tells you that you can earn a six-figure sum just by working an hour a week from home, or whenever you're on holiday, you're still earning the money, I think any reasonable person would know logically that is not really how one person can get wealthy. Most first generation millionaires are self-made and would know the way to create wealth. Is not likely to be that way. Okay? How wealth is accumulated is normally through hard work, and they save more money than they earned. They were very consistent in what they do and over a long period of time. So consistent approach is the most basic mechanistic way of modifications to one's behavior. If you wish to save money and you still go out and spend like $2,000 on a shopping spree after a stressful week, this is just a matter of habit and of course association with how you respond to stress. So this can be related as well to our exercise and nutrition front on how we manage our activity as well as calories, and how we create new habits to modify a certain behavior and to stay consistent in that. There was a systematic review by Marie Spreckley looking at people who lost weight and kept it off. I will create a link to the study in the show notes. Now, it was stated that maintenance of weight loss was associated with consistency and ability to embrace changes rather than running from them, viewing challenges as part of the process. She also found that the people who lost weight and kept it off said they had to form a new identity. So I would rather not use the word discipline because people usually associate discipline with kind of a negative connotation. And besides, discipline and willpower may fade over time with some people. So what I would prefer to use is to change the mindset from I have to exercise to I am a fit person who exercises. Now that will make your day much easier. And we know that exercise and nutrition is the two most important tools for longevity and to reduce the all-cause mortality. So what do I mean by all-cause mortality? It is a term that refers to death from any cause. In statistics, all-cause mortality is usually a measure of total number of deaths from any cause in a specific group of people over a specific period of time. If you want to improve certain aspects of your health, be it to reduce your blood pressure, to improve your blood glucose level, you want to change certain health markers, but you do not wish to completely change your lifestyle, you will still need to change some of the behavior you have now. And to be consistent in that behavior, ability to embrace the challenges ahead instead of avoiding them, and accepting that setbacks can occur and is part of the process. As the study stated, it will help for you to form a new identity. But also don't assume that what is easy for you is easy for someone else. Like for myself, I can eat what I want, but I pick well. For others, this approach may be difficult. There are also people who tried the keto diet and it was easy for them and they said that they lost a lot of weight, you know, good for them. But we also cannot assume that that applies the same for everybody else. As for exercise, I would like you to adopt a new mindset. Just taking for myself, for instance, I do not have to be motivated to go to train in the gym. Just like I do not need to be motivated to brush my teeth every day. I know if I don't brush my teeth, I will face terrible consequences, which will cost me a lot of money to correct later, and I may not even be able to save my teeth. So I should be taking the small effort every day to brush my teeth. I also know if I don't train in the gym, it will affect my health badly in the future. So naturally, I will want to train every day. You need to ask yourself, what do you want? And what are the actions required to get what you want? If your actions do not line up with what is needed, then you will not get what you want. That's normal. The reality is you need to start and start now and get past the stage of getting over the first setback or challenge that you face. You know, if someone wants to lose weight and somehow one fine day the weight just fluctuate and the person see the scale and get very discouraged and gives up and drop out of the exercise completely, that's not a good idea. The ability to embrace challenges and knowing that it's natural and to be resilient enough to carry on the plan is important. Let's take another example. You want to be very good in the game of darts and you have completely no coaching. So if you're just going to be playing the game of darts and trying to hit the bullseye for 3 hours every single day, now you may not be a world champion in the game of darts, but you'll be very sure that you'll be pretty good in the game in 10 years' time, just by doing that every single day for 3 hours a day. Now back to nutrition. Contrary to what many people think, it can be an easy thing to change because it is relatively easy to restrain. You are in control of what you want to feed yourself. But I recognize that nutrition can be complicated because it is highly variable between individuals. There can be 3 simple approaches that you can start with, and it can be dietary, time, or caloric restriction. You can do all or you can just pick one. So let's look at dietary restriction. What does that mean? You can choose to restrict some type of macromolecule, such as restricting the intake of sugar or restricting the intake of one type of fat, etc. Next, time restriction. And that means to limit the window of time during which you eat. Usually, people will term this as intermittent fasting, but personally, I don't really like the word, so I will prefer to use time-restricted eating. A moderate approach would be like the 16-8 approach, which is a 16-hour of not eating and 8-hour window with which you eat. So that will be a quite moderate approach. Anything longer may not sit very well with most people. So the concept is there. It's about restricting the time in which you eat. The third one would be caloric restriction, and that is to reduce and limit the number of calories that you consume every day. So any of these 3 restrictions or approaches can be combined, or you can choose to just do with one. I personally do not use time restricted feeding, but the choice is yours. Find the restriction that you think is the easiest for you to manage, and don't get too caught up with the small stuff by being obsessed with counting calories and fitting your macros. Know what you're trying to address and know what and how to measure your progress. Be resilient and stick with the plan long enough, and be ready to abandon it when you are very sure that it's not working out. I'm not saying that you cannot take one day off, but just be careful that one day don't turn into weeks or months and even years. The point of this all is to be consistent, and that is the most fundamental. You can have any diet and you can have any training system. If you're not consistent with it, you are not going to see results. The diet stops working when you stop being consistent. You can refer to stories on Instagram or on other social media platforms to inspire yourself. But be very careful not to compare yourself with others. You need to ask yourself instead, can I be better? And not, can I be like this person? When I got into bodybuilding back then, there'll be people telling me that you will never be able to build up because you're Asian, you're always smaller build, it's very hard to put on muscles, etc. etc. Now, if I were to listen to them, I will never make it to be the first IFBB pro athlete in Singapore. So a lot of people are not even starting their fitness because they are so intimidated by all the information out there and looking at all their hot bodies on Instagram and in the gym and hearing how people talk and criticize. So don't get affected by that. What's important is just start and stay consistent. If you like this podcast, please share with a friend who may find this useful. And if you have not subscribed to my podcast, please do so now and you will receive notification when a new episode is uploaded. Thank you for listening and see you in my next episode. Bye.